You left off at the train station.
True.
You've just caused a decent bit of chaos.
Minor
Kara
to
still
domestic
looks
terrorism.
beat after landing. She looks almost a little sickly. Sam immediately goes over to help her out. And in front of you still stands Tuzba, the owner or proprietor of the brewery that you were at this point trying to save. Tuzba still looks frazzled, but he begins to head back towards the city, the bag of all of his belongings still loosely slung over his back. I I should probably be there at the brewery when you go. I mean, I can bring you there. I know how it looks inside. That's not on the map. I also, yeah, I need to see how damaged everything is and all.
So you want to go back?
I mean, with you, yeah.
Of course.
Well, that would be very helpful indeed. I do think we're gonna stop back up a little bit into the medial district. I believe there's some hunters we wanted to talk to.
Oh, that well, that sounds.
I mean, after
perfect,
hearing
yeah.
you
More
describe
people
it,
that, yeah.
sounds like quite a lot of spiders. So
And I'm still on my way.
right, right.
Right. So, I guess we're heading. I guess we need to wait for Catherine.
Yeah, probably. We said we would meet her kind of at the entrance to the train yards, I think.
So, let
Also,
people
maybe
go there.
Dorks wants to come along.
Yeah, that too.
I could ask.
Sam turns towards the rest of you, and I'm really sorry, but I'm gonna try my best for this impression. Kara isn't looking too well. Perhaps her and I should return to Quartermains for now.
Yeah, sorry about that, Kara. I didn't realize the flying thing was gonna. Oh, we'll talk about it later.
Kara doesn't respond. She is in fact holding her mouth.
Hmm.
She looks almost nauseous.
Well, we can all kind of head back together. For a ways, I think the hunters are kind of on the way to the guild.
Yes, you should be careful. Wouldn't want anyone else to get hurt at this point.
Yeah, and with the two of you gone, we definitely gonna need the help of the hunters, I assume.
Are we near the entrance of the train yard?
Yeah.
Keep an eye out for Catherine.
I think you were going to meet Catherine at the Venerable Swordsman,
Oh, where are we?
not at the train yard.
Where are we?
I don't remember. Either way works.
I think that's the meeting point you sent.
Huh.
And then some things took a little bit longer.
Then is the marketplace on where we met the hunters on the way to the Venerable Swordsman?
It's somewhere in the same vicinity, close to the central support to the upper district.
So maybe we'll
sort
go
of the middle.
swing by the hunters and see if they'll be willing to join our escapade, and then head off to the Venerable Swordsman.
Sounds reasonable to me.
Yep.
Underway.
As you set off, the Kara, Sam, and Tuzba are following behind you. One of you please roll me a 1d20.
I'll do it.
Do.
9.
Dun, 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 dun.
Oh no. And mad rocks fall.
Walking back towards the place where you first saw the hunters, there's nothing really out of the ordinary happening. There's a bustling city all around you, but, well, as far as an overcrowded city goes, nothing out of the ordinary. You arrive a couple minutes later at that same alleyway that you went down before. The hunters in their stall, still there. The amount of trophies and bones on the table are significantly reduced at this point. And as you step closer, the largest of the hunters immediately waves towards you and shouts across a couple of people.
Ah, you come back. Buy more? Meat work make you stronger?
But Catherine's not here, so I can't respond to that. Absolutely.
A
But,
wide smile flashes across his face.
You know, coming back, it seems like you did a good lot of business yesterday. We were actually just heard about a job that's actually not too far from the city that we were going to take up, and well, you all immediately came to mind. If you would be
Something
interested
like,
in
dealing with a good bit of creatures, it seems to be up your alley.
Oh, you ask if we hunt monster? Yes, of course. But
Well-
we also require supplies for after, and someone stay behind to sell rest of things. Cannot waste, otherwise it's bad luck on next hunt.
Oh, of course, of course. Well, and fortunately, it sounds like this place is fairly close to the city, so it shouldn't be too much of a hike for whoever wants to come along with us.
The Goliath turns around and waves at some of the others.
Everyone gather. Everyone, come. 5 of us here. You take 2. Other 3 stay. Yes. You make decision.
Any specialists on spiders?
We're all specialists on monster. I am Opheldim, a hard fighter. Even big beastie have trouble taking me down. This old man, Gothar, shaman. Runes always work when Gothar makes them. Over there, Adun, trap master maker. He take while to set up for a large monster, but always work. Briga, she our best tracker. Fast, reliable markswoman. And Volnor here, not our best fighter, but he no beast. He usually fight with boar he ride. Very impressive. I try once, but boar I too heavy.
You see 5 of the hunters, and let me put them out to see. They come with different perks, pluses, or even negatives. The first one, the one talking to you, is Opheldim. His trait, for you to know, is Beast Body, Beast Mind. He will attack wildly in combat. He can lose himself in a combat rush, making him prone to traps or ambushes or the like. And he's an excellent close-range fighter. Briga is a markswoman. She has heightened perception. In combat, he focuses on single enemies and is an excellent long and close range fighter.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Alan!
Alan?
Yes.
Okay, still there. Adun, the trap master, cannot be surprised.
Oh no, I'm gone. Disconnected.
And will most likely see any and all traps. He can take a minute out of combat to prepare traps, and in combat he is an average close combat fighter. Gotha, the runic shaman, can use runes to buff himself and the party, and has a decent amount of arcane knowledge. However, he's a mediocre fighter. Volnar is a beast lord. He has advanced knowledge of creatures and he comes mounted. However, being mounted on his boar, he cannot sneak and will not part with his mount, which could become troublesome in small passages or similar situations. He is, however, as long as he is mounted, an excellent long and close range fighter.
I like all of them.
Yeah.
So, by the way, Beggar, is that an accident, or is Aden, Aden, Ada? Is his name Titanhorn? Because
No.
we've already met a person that has the same first name.
Have we?
Yes, Adon Titanhorn is part of the group that beat up the person in the streets until we stopped them. He's one of the 3 names we got, with Gibbet, Tobale, and Adon. Adon, whatever the name is. So yeah, that's one of the 3 names.
Unrelated.
Okay, so just by chance the same
But-
name. Okay.
I'm pretty sure we killed him.
Yeah,
Okay,
I just
alright.
wanted to make it. Yeah, just wanted to be sure. I thought so. Okay.
We have a choice to make here.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, do they have any input? I was about to suggest Tuspa come up and kind of describe what he's seen and see if they have any input on what would be a good strategy. I don't know.
Do you ask Tuspel?
Yeah. So, Tuspa, would you mind just describing a little bit of the spiders that you can remember and see if, these folks recognize that particular enemy?
Oh, of course. Well, these spiders, they grow very large. They spin a lot of webs. I mean, I can't really say much to their behavior. There's at least one very large one, and they will have multiplied by now, so there'll probably also be a lot of smaller ones, younger ones. There are some passages of the brewery that are a little bit tight, but I mean, and you see him look at Opheldim. I think most of you should probably fit through. Volnar, the beast lord, he looks a little bit disgruntled.
I wanted him so bad to come with us, but I feel like it's gonna be a tight fit
Be
in
tight, yeah.
many situations. Yeah, because that would have been my first choice actually, but I don't think it makes sense.
I feel like we definitely want the magic man.
The Gothar.
Yeah.
I feel like, yeah, like burning webs away is a good thing to do, right? Seems like that's something that I hear now and then.
Yeah, maybe like a real tank to go with. Because I feel like Brega, if like close range with multiple weapons, is like kind of like me a little bit, maybe. So
Don't want.
Maybe.
so maybe like a tank that actually can just be on the front and have a high AC maybe, or at
Little
least take a
phase
lot
and
of
then go on.
damage.
Also keep in mind your strategy as you go in. Obviously, the Trap Master is a little bit more situational.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
But for example, the better fighters or the heavier fighters will
Be
also
able to sneak as
be, yes, less likely to sneak. Definitely more full-on fighters.
Yeah.
And it might be nice being able to keep an eye out for any sort of spiderweb traps or
That
things
might
like
be
that
very
could
true.
wrong.
Mm.
That might be very, very true.
Yeah.
Spiders are relatively good at creeping up on things.
Yes.
Bleachers.
And if it were that group of us, we wouldn't really have anyone in heavy armor, so we could be a little sneakier. Potentially.
But majority of us are range.
True.
But for Catherine.
So the tracker you said was better at ranged archer.
You mean Brigger?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
So yeah, for now we know we want to have Gothar, right?
That sounds
And we're pretty sure we don't want to have Vonar just because, I mean, he's the most awesome, I feel like, but still, just for...
I'm literally sitting here picturing you like shoving people around.
Yeah.
Being like, you get in the bag, you go
Yeah, you
forward."
guys just get over there from over there. And, yeah.
Volna will definitely mean you'll be a little bit restricted in which way you go.
right.
Or if you do go one of those ways, he will likely stay behind.
I think I'm just leaning between Ophildum and Adun. Like either having a tank for protection, or like being able to be a little stealthier and less likely to be caught off guard. And see traps.
To be
but-
caught in traps and stuff, yeah.
Depending on how you take strategy, obviously between these two, it's straight up fighter, tank, and Trapmaster who can also take a minute out of combat to prepare traps and such. If you manage to take a tactical approach.
How tactical are we?
Yeah, that is, I feel like, the most important question for this choice.
How likely are we to just rush into a fight?
Because so
I mean,
far
we
I'm
have
like,
to do that, right?
I mean, after all, we just have to kill all of them anyway, because we have to free this place.
Yeah.
We cannot just sneak by and get the treasure or whatever. We're there to get rid of them. So,
Yeah.
I don't know how we do that best. I mean, the tracker could be like, yeah, I mean, they have to eat, and if there's nothing in there to eat, we can just put some food out there with a tracker and make, I don't know, get them out of the building or whatever, I don't know. Or we just go in there and just kill them.
Spider poison traps.
So usually when it hasn't happened too much in this group, it has happened in the other one, so Jess would probably know this. When you set an ambush, essentially, you do get a surprise round. Which means we will go through an entire round of your actions, and then we go into initiative. Which, when they did, for example, the hard fight, meant that they basically annihilated the first creature.
We had one person that fell unconscious. Eventually.
Well, the first ambush round at least. I mean, you
But yeah.
basically,
It was really nice.
supernovaed. And then we went into initiative, and all of them, like half of them, also went first in that part. So it gives you a distinct advantage to ambush something or to get surprises on something. But at the same time, if you don't get that surprise, obviously, that depends on how you move and how you interact and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
That
I
sounds
can't
good.
imagine.
Sorry, go.
I can't imagine it's exactly easy to ambush spiders.
True.
Yeah,
I mean,
But there's
they're-
also a chance that you are ambushed by a spider.
yeah.
right,
Ah.
and that would be good to not have that surprise against.
You
them.
are going into a lair, essentially.
where they're more likely to have traps set up.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I
I
think
feel-
I'm personally leaning towards a dune, but that's my vote.
Reasonable.
I thought his name was Arden.
Oh,
No,
whatever.
I don't-
Dune.
Oh, Dune.
You can
I
also
feel-
vote
Dune.
with the party here, obviously, Catherine, even though you're technically not there. There's like a
Yeah.
just a group decision at this point.
I feel like we're losing two marshals, so I want a
That's
marshal.
true.
But
That is
I'm personally not
Mhm.
committed to this guy. If we were more concerned about traps, I
He's
don't know.
up for debate again. Yeah, maybe it's just these two and this not.
Do you like that too?
I don't trust my martial prowess.
It's just you'd be the only one up there.
Yeah. I
Against
mean,
a bunch of
how do you
spiders.
feel about taking all the damage?
How do
I
you
mean,
feel
if
about
they-
getting bloodied?
I mean, if they're not magical attacks, then I'll be fine.
But they could be like poison attacks, like as they're spiders, and then
Yeah.
you're taking like poison damage and horrible.
Oh no.
Oh, no.
Oh no 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 no. That's not good.
So, I think as much as it would be really nice to have Gothar, I would lean towards these two, probably.
Yeah. Also, Opheldum is a cool guy so far. I like him.
Mm-hmm.
But maybe Gothar can heal, and we don't really have a heal.
That's true. What?
Yeah, that.
Well, he can
Squeeze
heal a
me.
little.
What?
What?
The offense.
I can do a tad bit of healing in a weird way.
I do quite a lot. Come.
Oh,
Gothar, we should just ask him. Gothar, what can you do? Can you heal or cast fireballs or like what do you do?
He had those totems or runes to make the group stronger.
Use the ancient rune magic. I can't say I am as good as a Krigven, but the knowledge of the North has served me well. Those of you with any sort of knowledge of the arcane, you may give me an Arcana check.
Except me.
I certainly don't.
I'm not there.
18, not bad.
Look, I don't even understand how my own gauntlet works. Okay.
19.
So 18 and 19.
18 and 19. You've heard of rune magic before, and it's not as effective as like a full-on wizard or a magic caster. It's basically the same kind of rune magic that the rune knight would be using.
Oh.
That's interesting, but that's not really like a
Yeah.
direct heal or a direct.
So yeah,
Is it these two then?
what's even better than healing? Not being hit at all. So let's have a tank.
Sounds good.
You don't need to be healed if you don't get hit in the first place.
Yeah.
It's true.
Just don't get hit.
Yeah.
All right,
Okay.
we are decided.
If this mission ends and I haven't been able to ride a spider, I will be disappointed.
Okay, don't put anything on me here. Okay, so you have
So,
decided
yeah,
for
I think-
Dune and Opheldin.
Yeah.
Let me throw away the cards for the others. There we go.
And I mean, if you feel bad about throwing them away, you could just have them all come.
Give you
back.
all of them? Yeah.
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 You wouldn't-
Totally.
it's
Yeah.
for your sake. For
Just
your
backup,
sake. You
you
put
know?
in all this effort and work, and I just
Yeah.
feel like it would be really sad if it was all wasted.
Oh, they'll come back. I have a feeling. Maybe not with the same names, but
Okay, you make good choice.
Their names are Gerald now.
I get armor. Where you want to meet?
do you know the bar of the Venerable Swordsman? We're headed over there. It's not too far from here.
Never heard of.
Perfect. Well, Catherine's got to come down the main shaft. We could probably just watch for her here.
Or we could just split it up, and some of us.
True.
And we're all heading there anyways, right?
Yeah, true.
So if we needed.
No,
to,
no, but
we could
wait.
go
I
ahead.
think we need Tuspa with us to kind of show the way. So I don't.
We're all going to the venerable.
Oh, yes.
Well, to me it seems like Kara is not currently up to that task. We'll see you when you return to Quartermains. But now she should rest.
Oh, that's.
Of course. So what are you suggesting, Evelyn?
I was just saying if they're not sure where to meet up with us, we could either pick a different spot or have someone travel with them to eventually get back to the venerable swordsman.
I can stay with them
Sure.
if you want to.
Yeah, that works.
That'll be fine, and then the rest of us will head off.
Okay.
Splitting the party.
Three
Oh my
ways now.
god. And then I run into a black dragon.
Okay. So I think it's just you and I headed to the Venerable Swordsman.
Yeah, with
Tuspa. Okay. I guess we'll set off and meet back when Catherine gets there.
Give me a second.
Here it
I
goes.
swallowed something wrong.
It sounds like it.
sorry, my brother was correct.
I'm alive.
Welcome
Thank God.
to the land of the living.
Okay. Ah. What was the party split again?
Rhett and Evelyn are heading with Tuzba to go to the venerable swordsman to meet up with Catherine once she gets. And Soleil is heading off with the hunters. I think they were getting supplies and then heading to the venerable swordsman.
That is what it
Okay.
sounds like.
Yeah.
So, heading back to the Venerable Swordsman is easy enough. It's not too far from here. And as you arrive and knock on the door, as before, the tavern owner opens the door and lets you in. He welcomes Tuspa in a friendly but kind of sad manner. And yeah, there you would also meet Catherine. As you and Soleil head off with the hunters,
Mm-hmm.
they take you a bit further towards the edge of the city to a large warehouse, which they've seemingly rented. Some of the chests in there are definitely not theirs, but all of their stuff is sort of piled in a corner. And there, in that warehouse, you also see that giant boar, saddled and somewhat armored, sleeping. It takes them a little bit to open some crates, get out their armor, and suit up, but soon enough, both of them are geared, and Offeldim is carrying a large bag of trap supplies that Adun slung over his shoulder. And you are ready to return.
Adun, do you have like a spare, like kind of hunting trap or bear trap for me, just in case? Can carry that for you.
I can give you bear trap, yes.
Yeah, just in case. I don't think it's very effective against spiders, probably, but
Okay, mark down that you have one medium hunting trap.
yeehaw. Medium hunting trap.
If I randomly don't reply, by the way, it's probably because I'm sniffling or coughing right now.
No.
Please don't.
No worries.
And also, I asked Adun, so anything else you would like to buy before going after spiders? Maybe some special ideas? It's gonna be a lot of them.
Hunting spider. Probably similar to hunting beast with carapace. Piercing good. Crossbows, but we have all the gear we need.
Okay. So no lures or some other stuff that's especially effective against spiders that you can think of.
Spiders especially, no. They're not hunters themselves. Well, they're more like me, trappers.
Mm-hmm. I can see that. I mean, it depends on the kind of spider, but let's not go into the details here. As much as it sounds, yeah, they are the webbing kind of spiders. So, yeah. Okay, then,
He hands you an unlit torch and a flint and steel. Probably useful have fire,
yeah. True.
unless you already have.
No, I'd like to take it. Just have to be careful
Fire
not to
is,
burn the place down.
Two-edged sword with creature. They can see, but some are afraid. Would depend on the situation.
Like, I'm no expert on spiders, but didn't they have, like, not the best vision anyway?
Spider, very perceptive. The problem with spider is you cannot approach from behind. Too many eyes. However, when some spider grow very large, their bulbous behind usually grow so large they cannot see behind. It's like a blind spot.
Hmm. Also, best to hit them there. Are they like squishy? At their behind, basically, or what would you say
Usually
is the
even
best?
behind carapace. And
Mm.
behind does not carry vital organ. It's soft underneath, but probably more damage at the central torso where nerve stem is.
I see. And now I'm imagining some cool stunts how to get below them and slice them up from there. Okay.
Where's dorks with an
anybody-
oil slick?
In real life, have arachnophobia?
Who has?
Does anybody here actually have arachnophobia? Like
No.
fear of spiders?
I'm asking these
No.
questions because I actually own spiders, like
Oh, no,
in
no, no,
terrariums.
fine.
So yeah,
Because I
so
was gonna post a GIF that
Oh god.
I
Do it.
that I recently had an encounter in a different game with spiders, and my DM posted this, and I was horrified. I was like, why? But there you go.
For our group, it's usually someone.
that's the
posted
trapdoor
this
spider.
flash
I
spider.
already saw that before it even happened.
Damn.
Boom.
Those are the same things that I've had my spiders back then.
Mhm.
Man, that poor cricket.
Didn't even see it come.
Those are also the same things I feed my ants nowadays. Okay, so let's move on, I guess.
Savage.
Huh.
If anyone's thinking about it, by the way, flash spiders are prohibited from this Discord.
What spiders?
Flesh spiders?
You don't
Oh
wanna-
no! Don't Google it. I know what you
Don't do it.
Yeah, if you don't remember, then
Yeah, I now I remember. So yeah, just don't.
I'm curious, but I don't want to look it
I
up.
mean, you can Google it, but don't blame us and just don't post it here.
Yep.
No, I'm not gonna.
Yeah, it's probably the better idea. So yeah, I guess yeah, Soleil just on his way, leading them to the venerable swordsman. He just asks some questions about hunting. And yeah, just some
Okay.
general tactics and just little chit chat.
Chia.
Oh shoot. If we have a little bit of time at the bar,
Yeah, you do.
I was just thinking before we leave, do we want to I don't know, send off a few inquiries about the vampire fellow and the party that he's throwing? Because we had talked, previously about getting into it, but we might need like an invitation or
Mm-hmm.
something.
Well, you know that the the party itself will probably be in the upper district.
Right.
So getting into the upper district is a bit of a challenge. There
Right.
are marks that are granted on a temporary basis to, for example, attend such a party. But it would probably require some bureaucracy, maybe some fees. Of course, Ablin and you yourself do have marks that allow you entry into the upper district. There's always, of course, the way of smuggling someone up there. But it's not very easy.
Can't we be
I was
humble
thinking-
servants?
About just dashing off a quick letter to some of the people I know at the Bog College and see if there's some performers, that are gonna run that party, and maybe I can then talk to them and see if we could get in on their ticket type of thing.
Yeah.
Learn
definitely
a
do
little
that.
bit more about the party.
Do
So
you send a letter or?
yeah, I was thinking I'd just write like a quick. I don't actually know who I'm writing to, but I assume I know a couple.
Okay. Yeah.
people that run gigs at the college.
Give
And
me.
I am
a-
inquiring about the party run by. I actually forgot his name.
Do you also, in that letter, already ask for taking part in that kind of thing? Or
Yeah,
is this just
yeah.
an inquiry of, is anyone going?
That's what I was kind of asking. I think Catherine and Evelyn, if they would be okay with doing it that way, because they're here.
The way of being performers. Quote
Yeah,
unquote.
yeah. Being performers, being
Vadar?
Yes, for Batar.
Vadar.
Vidar.
Um,
Vidar.
Sometimes it's better to be kind of in the background than an actual guest, is what I was thinking. So do a little performing, and then we're at the party and we see what we see.
Vidar knows me, right?
Well, he knows the order. He knows Easterville personally. You personally, it's
Would he
unlikely.
recognize me?
There's a high possibility.
Hmm.
I mean, I could. If we're really attempting to go, I could send a note to my family to see if they're planning on attending and if they had any. I could potentially go. I don't really normally go to this kind of things. I've gone on a few occasions in the past, but I don't know if I'd necessarily not stand out. There'd probably be quite a few people that would maybe know me or know my family.
Well, perhaps you could get an invitation on your own easily, and then the others of us could get in. Because I mean, I'm guessing you couldn't get us all invitations. That would seem like a stretch.
Probably a bit of a stretch. I could maybe ask for one other or something like that.
That sounds reasonable. So why don't we do both? You send a letter, I'll send a letter, and we'll see where they get us before we head out. Give it a few days to let people think about it, get back to us.
How long until the party, anyways, at this point?
Well, the party's still 2 or 3 days away, so there's obviously the possibility that you find all the clothes you need before the party even.
Hmm.
True.
I'll write up a letter to send to my parents.
Speaking of
My mother just
things.
knocked on my door to ask if I'm alright. I've been coughing like a madman.
Oh no!
Good old Rona.
Doctor.
I used to round the...
Listen, I got like a little crumb of a nut stuck in my throat. It's gone now, but it's still
No.
sore and like itchy. So no worries. Listen, okay, I'm alright.
Get nuts stuck in your throat.
Yeah, I should stop gobbling nuts.
Gobble gobble.
So I think my note will be more just kind of inquiring who's going and if maybe they would be interested in some extra.
Okay, like if you're trying to already get in, basically, I'd ask you to roll me a persuasion check on basically how you word your letter. But if you're just
Sure.
asking without, implying that you want to take part, then I would do it without the persuasion roll at this point, and you would later do it in person.
I'll lightly imply that we want to get in. So I'll try it now. That's good. 14.
It was so close to a net 20.
It was.
Was
So
that
it's
with your modifier?
yeah. So it's 14 with my modifier.
Okay. I mean, that's pretty high. Jeez. You have a plus
Yeah.
10?
Yeah, it's too,
I mean,
too strong.
That's a bard for you.
Fucking bards. Swear to God.
I try not to abuse it too frequently.
Okay. Yeah, you word your letter, you write it, and you send it on its merry way. There are multiple sort of drop boxes around the entire city that regularly get checked for mail and letters.
And I think I would, include the return the mail to the Quartermains.
Yeah.
As like the address. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Speaking of political strings, I suppose. I've managed to talk Ront into calling some to see if he can get a, I guess, an acceptance to the observatory.
Oh, impressive.
And I forget how long you said that would take.
He said it
Maybe
might
with-
take a day or two. There's no real timeline he gave you.
Okay. He said it might
Except
take a day
that-
or two.
It wasn't gonna be a very quick thing.
Well, that definitely could be very helpful with, like you said, the broken instrument you have there.
Actually, speaking about that, I reread. Where did I read it? Oh yeah, I reread the note, I think, and it said it is attuned to her. Right? Is that what that's from?
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not I think, it is attuned to her.
It's a tune, but it's like her soul is broken. Or I think that's what we were guessing anyway, from what you had said and Reginald had said.
True.
So certainly the observatory would probably be able to help there.
I hope. Dude.
Like, I'm just gonna send off a really short letter to my family as well. Just be like, hey, how's life? I'm fine. Can I go to the party? And that's pretty much it.
Okay.
She's asking for allowance for a party. What a nice daughter.
Borrow your credit card?
Can I use your credit card? The good old teenage daughter.
Your new phone.
Not quite.
Just imagine turning out that Evelyn is like 14 or something.
She's not a gnome.
She, oh, wow,
God.
that would be the worst. She's not a gnome. She's just a
Just a child.
yeah, just a child.
Oh gosh.
She's not even real. She's an animated version of a child.
Oh, God.
Okay, let's not go then round.
They're all robots.
Beep boop. We're all Warforged now.
Yeah, so I think we take our time writing our letters and await the arrival of our friends.
Yes.
Yeah, it takes them about 1.5 hours, and they arrive at the Venerable Swordsman. You see that
Nice.
Offeldim almost has trouble getting through the door. He is not much taller than other Goliath you've seen, but he is significantly wider in frame.
Good.
Good.
Philnum is a Goliath. Adun, is he like human or?
He looks human,
Okay.
but you've also not seen too much of him.
Right. But presumably something similar to that. He's not another Goliath.
Yes. Not nearly as large.
All right.
Large.
What time of day is it roughly around now? I know we started off early, but
Started off early, had the chase train. It
Mhm.
would probably be early afternoon at this point.
all right then. Should we make our way out?
I'm all packed up. I got the supplies this morning for several days. A couple days, rather.
Well,
No time
yeah,
like the present.
I wouldn't see why there's any reason to delay. I mean, the sooner the sun, I suppose, the better.
All right.
And
Which
that's
way
it.
to Spa?
Oh, yeah, well, first we just get out of the city. It's not too far. Well, it's a little trek up the mountain, but we'll get there pretty fast. There's roads that lead straight there.
Perfect.
Tuspa leads the way, and you all leave the city of Polythreme. You exit Polythreme out of its easternmost gate towards the mountain. On this side of the city, the terrain immediately rises up in a slope towards the mountain. The mountain itself is a pretty steep spire, but the path to it is sort of concave almost. The first few levels of this mountain are relatively flat, and then the closer you get to the peak, the more steep it becomes. You follow along a road that winds up the mountain, and from up here, from this heightened perspective, you not only see Polythreme in its entirety, this massive spire city. Almost, it looks like it's a part of this sort of mountain chain, like another mountain except made of metal, cut stone, and smoke spires that rise from the top. But beyond the city, you see, beyond some large stretches of still farmable land that are cultivated, far in the distance you see large stretches of the land that are clouded in this murky darkness. At the edge of this darkened area, you can also see smokestacks rising in the air, presumably the work of the cleansers, holding back the blight with large swathes of flame. After about 2 or 3 hours of following this road, it's starting to slowly get evening. You arrive at a sort of plateau where a large path of the mountain was just flattened. And past this plateau you see the entrance to a large cave. Above this cave, in large, scraggly letters, roughly hewn into the very stone, you just see the name Red Claw Brewery.